Hey guys, this is Flamehawk bringing you another Pokemon Generations review, this time of episode 3.
Yes, episode 3. And right off the bat, we basically get to see. I'm not sure if we should call this guy green or blue, so let's just call him Gary for argument's sake, alright? So we basically see Gary essentially curve stomp the Elite Four. That's it.
We saw like maybe one or two moves from each battle, which is severely disappointing, and even in one battle against Agatha, we didn't see anything, which, nice entrance by Gengar, but nothing substance other than Gary being a little bit irked by her saying how he is the grandson of the old kook, Oak.
So yeah, kind of shows that's probably some hostility there. Maybe they're trying to touch on the whole fact that whenever you played the Generation 1 games, pretty much Professor Oak would always give the main character praise and pay attention to him, but give absolutely no shits about his own grandson. So I think they're probably trying to play on that a little bit with the more tugging on the heartstrings, I guess. But other than that, the entire episode we basically see Gary acting like a cocky SOB for whatever reason.
Now, what was nice was how they were using the original liners from the games on what the Elite Four leaders would say when they lost. And Gary Oak was just being one cocky SOB right back to them.
Yeah, from saying he's a genius to saying he hasn't even begun to get serious yet. Like, my one disappointment was that it ended right at the part where the main character, we're going to call him Red for argument's sake, came in just as we see Gary sitting on the throne, and I would have loved if we could just see him just knocked off on his ass, just to take away that smug smile on his face. I would have loved that.
I'm going to say this time again, this needs to be a series because there's so much material they could cover, and they could take each battle into one episode because it was pretty good. Like, that 50 seconds of footage for each battle just wasn't enough for me, and if they made a full-fledged series, they'd be able to make each battle worthwhile.
Well, yeah, that's definitely the case here. I mean, Pokemon Origins, from what I heard, did relatively well and got a very positive opinion among the fans. So maybe if they were to do something like that again, I mean, I'm gonna say that the reason, maybe in Generations, right now they're kind of just skipping around the Kanto stuff, because remember, they made Pokemon Origins. So if you want to see the whole full battle, at least from Red's perspective, you can just watch Pokemon Origins. Maybe once we get to like the other regions, perhaps like in Johto, maybe the episode lengths may be a bit longer or shorter, because remember, at the end of the day, they did say clips, but I'm thinking maybe once we're done with Kanto, like finally just done with Kanto, perhaps on episode 4, maybe the episodes will be a bit longer and we probably get a bit more substance. But again, I think this is just mostly just fan service. I really didn't expect much like long overarching story with these things. I think these are just fan service trying to capture some of the greatest moments in the game here. So like I said, I'm taking this with a grain of salt. I am a bit disappointed they didn't show much of the battles here, but for what we got, wasn't too bad in my opinion.
Now, like you said, Origins was great in that battle with Oak and Red. However, do they have enough time in these clips to do the battle justice? That's my only complaint, or my question, actually.
Well, it's a very good question, but there's another thing. I have another theory about what these Pokemon Generations are supposed to be, at least with the Kanto ones, because for the past 2 episodes, because we're not counting episode 1. Episode 1 was kind of like a more advanced trailer just featuring Pikachu, but with episode 2 and episode 3, we don't really see like the main characters within episode 2 at all. And then episode 3, we kind of just see how Gary made it through the Elite Four from his perspective. So I'm wondering if Pokemon Generations right now for the Kanto series is kind of fill in the whole what potentially happened outside of Red's perspective of Pokemon Origins, because that's the best vibe or the best explanation I can get right about now. I mean, I still want to see more I want to see more of how Gary managed to beat the Elite Four, but that's the closest explanation I can really manage right now. So yeah, overall, I personally thought the animation was obviously on point. The English voice actors seemed very decent, though I will say that Gary's voice was a little bit annoying, but I'm guessing that's what they were going for because he was being a cocky sap, so But I really did like in the beginning how they showed the inside, I believe, of, the Indigo Plateau. I'm really happy they showed the inside of what the Indigo Plateau looks like with the giant statue, because it kind of reminds me in Generation 5 in Black and White when you had to go in the Champion Hall in there to fight all the Elite Four, except in there you had to pick and choose. In the Generation 1, you didn't have to pick. You couldn't pick and choose. You had to go one by one. So I like seeing the inside of the Indigo Plateau, and I like seeing how the whole entrance with Gengar coming out of Akathar's Pokeball. Personally, I take this with a grain of salt. I probably would give this a B-. What say you?
I'd give it a solid C, only because I did not find enough footage in there for battle scene. Again, like we said. So, a solid C to B-, somewhere in that range. So let's round it off and say C+. Not great, but it's definitely entertainable. So, if you want to go check it out, definitely advise you to.
Alright, so you know the deal as always. I am the Gentleman Snark.
And I am Flamehawk.
So stay classy, folks.
See ya.